a crisis on their hands. And if you don't think they do, then the joke is on you. Um, this past All Star game, just it was atrocious. The attendance was atrocious. Nobody came to the festivities. Nobody came to the actual game. Nobody came to the slam dunk contest, and then they moved it to like the afternoon. Um, I think Adam Silver has turned the league into a gimmick-ridden, you know, 4 quarters of just more advertisement than basketball, and he better do something quick because fans are starting to walk away. And All Star Weekend, I think the tickets, another thing, they need to lower the ticket prices so people can be able to afford to take their kids and stuff to All Star game. Now, when I went to All Star Weekend, about the one in Oakland, when Vince Carter put on a clinic of a slam dunk contest, um, I think my tickets was they were cheap. They wasn't that much. They were $100 and something. But now I think they cost a lot. And Adam Silver has just ruined the NBA with all his gimmicks, these play-in tournaments and all this kind of stuff, these in-season tournaments. He's just made it too gimmicky. And I think people have started to see that and they have started to abandon it because they want to see pure. And I think the players need to stand up and say, hey, we don't want to do this. They got a union. They need to say, hey, we don't want to do these play-in tournaments. Um, we they're just stupid. If you want to alter and modify the current playoff system, I've said this before. I remember I was on Ticket TV's channel many years ago, said, hey, if you want to, you know, modify the current playoff system, instead of doing East versus West, you just have the best 16 teams, regardless of area, state, wherever they play at. The best 16 teams should go to the playoffs and have a chance to compete for a championship. There's no way you should have a under 500 record or barely 500 and you have a team in another conference that won far more games than you and they don't make the playoff by default. Those are some things that needs to change drastically, or Adam Silver in the NBA is going to be out of business. And that's just real talk. But Adam Silver is so arrogant and such a narcissist, he's not going to admit that he's wrong. He's going to sit up there and talk around questions and try to make it look like that things are good when they really ain't. You know, I'm discussing it now. So they have a problem. And I'm gonna tell you something else. They need to stop just going on, this promotion where they're just talking about how international the league is. Some of these international players are not interesting as people. You don't want to alienate your core audience, which is, the United States of America. It's cool to have international players, but when you just make it seem like it's just centered around them, then, people are going to go pride and country on you to a certain extent. So Adam Silver has a lot of fixing to do because that was alarming to see how many empty seats they had for the All-Star game. It was disturbing. It was cringe-worthy. Usually All-Star weekend supposed to be packed. When I went to All-Star weekend in Oakland, if it wasn't filled to capacity, it almost was. But you got this crap now. And like I said, I have nothing against international players, but you are focusing too hard on them. I think Adam Silver needs to focus more on building the league around the American athletes such as Cooper Flag and those type of dudes. But what he's doing now, he's pissing people off, and people are giving the NBA the finger. Now we know Charles Barkley and them are going to downplay it, and we know people that's affiliated with the NBA is going to downplay it. But that was telling to see people putting up video footage of all the empty seats. You know, all the empty seats that was available at the Intuit Dome. So it was disturbing. It was very disturbing. Well, you could do East West Coast for the All Star game, but you know they need to retool it. But like I said, as far as the playoffs go, they need to do sort of like the Sweet 16. The 16 best teams should be the only ones that get to go to the playoffs. I think if the league tried that, I think they can restore and bring back some of the fans, and um, they have to be aware of the American NBA fan because now they're starting to feel neglected. International play is cool, and I know you want to, bring national audience in, but it's only going to get you so far because soccer is still the number one sport outside of the United States, and that's fact. So I hope they get it together soon. Adam Silver need to start having these meetings, figuring out what they're going to do. As far as the events go, they may need to just do away with the slam dunk contest because, hey, at the end of the day, they can't get any superstars. We want to see my dream slam dunk contest would be Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, you know, hell, put Cooper Flag in it, and some other people, some other high flyers. But you can't get that. And I do think LeBron James played a key role in destroying the slam dunk contest because the great ones, and that's why people look at him funny. And this is why people ain't gonna put him on a high pedestal over Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan did it. Kobe Bryant did it. LeBron refused to do it. And rumor has it that they offered him $1 million to do it, and he didn't want to do it. So this is why they're back at square one. They're back at square one, trying to figure out how to bring the fans back. Well, I have a simple solution to Adam Silver. Start focusing more on the American-born players. They don't have to be necessarily black. They don't necessarily have to be white. They just need to be good. So I wanted to get my quick point across. That is a word. That's an interesting terminology to use. I'll say that he think that if he makes it more appealing to a global audience, that's going to bring in more money. But listen, the ratings were terrible. Nobody came to the game. I think he should do the opposite. Listen, if you happen to have a Dirk Nowitzki that come, Dirk Nowitzki or a Joker, yeah, you're gonna have those type of players. But still, you need to focus on the American-born player. You need to be focused on them and bringing their story to light and letting people hear their story on how they got to where they are now. It's always interesting to see. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. UC baseball was so useless to ESPN where they just got rid of it. And the NBA is headed in the same direction. If they don't stop, they playing with fire. Well, like I said before, I would love to see a slam dunk contest that would feature Anthony Edwards. Somebody like that. Anthony Edwards should be the first one to draw his name out of the hat. But Anthony Edwards, he just, every time they ask him in an interview that he want to be the face of the league, he's hesitant to answer that question. He doesn't want that pressure. But I think he need to understand that he may be the chosen one, and he need to just take that crown. Anthony Edwards got so much potential, and like I said before, yeah, Shea, SGA, right now is considered the best player in the league, but he doesn't have much of a personality. Anthony Edwards does. Djokovic, he doesn't have much of a personality. For you to bring in fans, they want you to have a personality as well. See, Dirk, the thing is with Dirk had a personality, and he could be sarcastic at times. But these dudes now, they seem to be standoffish to the fans at times, to the media, and then as far as Stephen Curry goes, Stephen Curry is, in the last, he's in the last stage of his career. Stephen Curry's going to be 38 in March or something, and LeBron, he won't retire. So, and LeBron is not as relevant now as he once was like 5, 6, 10 years ago. He's becoming an afterthought. Well, somebody need to send. Well, a message was sent to Adam Silver this past weekend. How he responds to it is up to him. If he doesn't want to listen, then the NBA will be in deep trouble in the next 3 to 5 years. If he listens, he could fix it and he could turn this thing around. But like I said before, get rid of the gimmick shit. Get rid of the play-in tournament. Get rid of the tournament. That's not necessary. Stop it. And that's just real talk. Anyway, you guys, appreciate you guys being here. I just wanted to get a quick stream in before I shut it down. Definitely going to be talking some boxing in the morning on my way to work. Out.